Hello everybody, Shinjo here, welcome back to the channel, and today I am looking over the Fall 2025 anime list. So, obviously from the screen I already know a couple that are going to be here, but overall I think I'm mostly left in the dark outside of sequels. So let's not waste any time and look at what we got. Okay, so One Punch Man, actually let me check and see. Okay, yeah, that looks perfect. So One Punch Man Season 3 is the same studio that did Season 2, I believe. And a lot of people didn't like that, but honestly, I didn't really mind it. And of course, Spy Family, My Hero. Just like the other seasons, I'm definitely going to keep up with them. I'm just not entirely sure what's going to happen with Spy Family next, because I don't know, because from what I remember from Season 2, there wasn't really like a big overarching story besides the second half, I think it was, with Yor on the boat. But at the same time, it's still more Spy Family, and I can't really be too upset about that. And of course, My Hero, final season. I'm not sure if it's going to be only this season or if it's going to go into the next core. I think there's a high possibility Spy Family and My Hero are going to do that because they've done it before. But anyway, so let's see. So we have Tondemo Skill Isekai. I definitely recognize that. It's the second season. Is that the one with the food? I feel like it might be the one with the food. And then To Your Eternity. Haven't seen either one of them, so I'm not even going to acknowledge that. But instead, we have Tomodachi no Imoto ga Ore ni Dake Uzai. I think that's probably the closest I've done to a pronunciation on this. If a girl teases you, that means she likes you. Okay. Unfortunately, Akiteru knows from experience that isn't the case, because every girl he interacts with shows him nothing but scorn, and he's not scored a single date from it. Luckily, he's more concerned with securing a spot for him and his game development buddies at his uncle's business. But when his uncle throws him a condition that involves playing the part of his daughter's boyfriend, Akiteru has no choice but to take it. What will his best friend's sister, Iroha, who bullies him relentlessly, think of the news? Okay. I mean, I'll write it down, but it honestly reminds me of, what's it called? The anime from this year. I think it's Getting Married to the Person I Hate in Class or something like that. That's honestly what it reminds me of. Especially with the red-haired girl on the poster, which I'm assuming is the main one, but who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna at least watch it, but I don't think it's gonna stick around for me. And we have another sequel and another sequel. I haven't finished either one of those, so I'm just gonna ignore them. Although it's weird because I don't, well, not weird exactly, but I wouldn't mind watching Ranma, but I'm pretty sure it's not on Crunchyroll, which is interesting, but I suppose not everything's on Crunchyroll. That's why I'm watching Fragrant Flower this season somewhere else. But anyway, we have Saigo no Hitotsu dake onegai shitemu yoroshi desu ka. In the middle of a ball, Scarlett's fiance Kyle suddenly calls off their engagement. She's falsely accused of being a bully, and people unfairly call her a villainess. Yeah, the aristocrats and noble families all denounce her. For years, she had to put up with his abuse and idiocy, but she can't take it anymore. At her wit's end, she asks for one last favor, to give him a good fist in the face. So begins Scarlett's story of revenge against Kyle and his cronies, a fantasy about an elegant yet rebellious fighter who doesn't let anyone take advantage of her. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just kind of over the villainous anime. I might check it out eventually if I hear enough people talk about it, but at this point, I'm kind of on a time crunch because I want to give this stuff a fair shake, but I also want to do my top 10 of the year. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna stay. I don't think it's gonna stay, in my opinion. Okay, this is gonna be easy. So we have a spin-off anime to Gintama that follows him as a teacher in Gintama High School. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, that sounds interesting, even though I know very little about Gintama. But I'm wondering is it worth watching it when I haven't finished all of Gintama? Because there may be references that I don't understand. I don't know. Regardless, I don't know if it'd be on Crunchyroll anyway, so I don't know. But then we have this big title. I'm not going to try and read it. Oda Akira is the kind of guy who people forget is even there. His unassuming nature pays off though when his entire class is swept away to a fantasy world and he slips easily into his new role as a silent assassin. Okay. Between his suspiciously high starting stats and too many details that don't fit, Akira is sure something is wrong. But digging into world secrets is a dangerous game, and when Akira uncovers an evil scheme, he also makes a powerful enemy, the very king who brought him to this world. With the help of the elven spirit medium Amelia, can he find the power to set things right and get his revenge? I'm good. I don't know, I'm just... It's an isekai even though there's no tag for it. That's just quite basically an isekai. And we have this one about the wedding rings, another season of that I haven't cared for. And Isekai Quartet, which I don't really care for because kind of like Gintama earlier, I haven't seen all the shows, so I wouldn't understand a lot of it. But then we have Sanda. And I saw that it's Studio Sorrow, or Science Sorrow, I mean. So a lot of people are going to be hyping it up as the next big anime. But let's see here. The story starts with Sanda, a second-year middle school student getting attacked with a kitchen knife by his classmate Fuyamura. While Sanda couldn't make sense of the situation, he gradually came to believe that Fuyamura's actions were just mean acts stemming off from the latter having a peculiar puberty phase. Sure, if that's what you want to call it. But that was all actually a misunderstanding. Fuyamura is seriously questioning if Sanda is actually the descendant of a certain family. I mean, okay. For what it's worth, it may not be that good, but at least it'll look nice. But yeah, title doesn't really, or the synopsis doesn't really give much away, which could be good or bad. Either way, looks interesting. I like the poster. Okay, so another sequel, second season of Kakuriru no Yadomeshi, and I believe that's Bed and Breakfast for Spirits or something like that. But then we have Bukuyo na Senpai. Kanawa Senpai is considered many things, but Smooth is definitely not one of them. Then she meets Kamigawa, her new kohai. He's cute, a little nerdy, and easy to talk to. I see how it is. This is a self-insert. How will this awkward senpai be able to handle these new feelings? Yeah, it's just gonna be a self-insert, isn't it? I don't know. It may be enjoyable, but personally, I don't expect it. Then we have Chitose-kun wa Ramun bin Nonaka. Sure. Insults aimed at Saku Chitose are a dime a dozen. Nicknamed Class 5's womanizing scumbag. He is constantly slandered online by those jealous of his popularity. Luckily, that barely makes a dent in Saku's confidence. Outside niche internet forums, he is a reputable figure his schoolmates admire and a model student his teachers trust. As the second year of high school commences, Saku reunites with his old friends and befriends new ones, all belonging to the school's social elite. However, the fun is cut short when Saku's homeroom teacher instructs him to convince his shut-in classmate Kenta Yamazaki to return to school. Wishing to wrap things up quickly, he visits his house the next day, but the task proves more challenging than he expected when he discovers that Kenta is firmly and fully on the Saku hate train. If he wants to preserve his impeccable image, Saku must find a way to win over Kenta and bring him back to school. And I'm assuming the Saku's not even in the poster, which that's adding to the fun. Yeah, I'm just wondering why one of the tags says romance. Now, obviously, there's a lot of girls, but if it's gonna lean more into the comedy aspect, I'm not sure why that's a tag. I don't know. I'll keep an ear out on it, but I don't expect that I'll watch it. Then we have the second part of Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, which that's easy because I didn't watch the first part, which the first part was also this year, which is interesting. Guess it's popular. And then we have One Dance. Kaboku Kotani is starting high school and he plans to do what he's always done. go along with his friends, keep quiet, and not draw too much attention to himself. After all, it's hard enough to get by with a stutter like his. Why make things worse by standing out from the crowd? But then he sees another first year, Hikari Wanda, dancing like no one is watching, or like she doesn't care who sees her. It makes Kaboku wonder, could he reach the same freedom? To find his way to Wanda, he does something he never thought he could. He joins the dance club. After all, every routine begins with a single step, right? Join Kaboku and Wanda as they freestyle their way to life and love. I mean, sure. Now, obviously, a lot of these could impact things depending on if I can't even watch it on Crunchyroll, because going to find somewhere else to watch it is a little bit of a drag. I mean, if it's good enough, I will, but either way. Alright then, somebody decides to start mowing right now. Then we have Akujiki Reijo to Kyoketsu Koshaku. Like any proper noble lady, one must have certain acquired taste. For Melferia Marchelard, she just happens to crave an exotic protein, monsters. But do not judge. Despite its bad reputation, monster meat can be used in exquisite cuisine, and Melferia is determined to change the kingdom's opinion of it. Unfortunately, since debuting in society, Melferia has been struggling to find her perfect match, until she meets the fearless, blood-mad Duke of Galabralaf. There's a lot of gourmet anime coming out, not just in this season, but in general. And that's something. Now we have Kao no Denai Kashiwada-san to Kao ni Deru Otakun. With a smirk, Ota disregards his single-digit test scores and searches for a new source of amusement. He is soon captivated by his classmate Kashiwada, a mysterious student who consistently wears a blank face. Ota conspires to break her placid demeanor through scares and mischievous schemes, though his tactics always seem to backfire. Ota is known as the class clown and is constantly disciplined by his teacher, who claims his face gives it away. To no fault of his own, he lacks control of his emotions and facial expressions. Kashiwada, on the other hand, seems perpetually emotionless and unreadable. No one knows what she's thinking. They're complete opposites, but that does not stop a unique relationship from developing between them. As they realize their feelings for each other, it raises an important question. Do opposites really attract? I mean, yeah, okay. That's interesting, at least. Now, I know it's another romance anime, but to be honest, I think I remember seeing this trailer a couple of days ago on the Crunchyroll site. So, if that's the one, then I might actually enjoy it. And then we have Towa no Yugure. After waking up from a long cryogenic sleep, high school student Akira Himagami finds himself in a world he no longer recognizes. The city lies in ruins from war. Society is now governed by an organization called AWEL. A traditional marriage has been replaced by a new system known as ELSI. Okay. As Akira struggles to comprehend this drastically changed future, a familiar figure appears before him, Yugure, who bears a strong resemblance to his girlfriend Tawasa. To his shock, Yugure smiles and gently proposes, "Akira, please marry me." Confused by her sudden proposal, Akira agrees to travel with Yugure, holding on to hope that somewhere in this world, the real Tawasa is still alive. Along their journey, they encounter the evolving form of love in this new era and reflect on what their bond truly means. And it's an original. That's interesting because there's no telling on what is going to happen with the show. I mean, I'll check it out, and I'm only writing it down on a small piece of paper because if I try to click add to list, it'll take way too long and then I'll have to cut the video, and I don't have time for all that. But yeah, the fact that it's an original honestly seems like a visual novel sort of anime. Don't necessarily mind that. Now we have, oh gosh, Kikai Jikaki no Marie. Wealthy, handsome, and successful, Arthur Louis Zates is no stranger to the greed of people. Constantly doubting those around him, he has no faith in humanity. Thus, he makes a request for the perfect maid, a robot maid. However, his butler is unable to require such a servant due to the technological limitations, so he finds the next best substitute. Okay. Marie Evans is a former child prodigy in martial arts known for her lack of expression. Drowning in debt, she readily accepts the offer to be a maid that acts like a robot. While Arthur is often blunt towards humans, he cannot help but dote on his personal robot. In turn, Marie is moved by his drive and consideration towards her. Okay, I mean, there's a pink-haired girl in it, and that's all that I can say. Okay, I kind of knew about this, but I didn't really. Digimon Beat Break. I knew there was going to be a new Digimon, but I didn't know it was going to be here. Okay. E-Pulse, which is generated by humans' thoughts and emotions, was used as an energy source for the AI support device Sabotama. From the shadows of this remarkable development, terrifying monsters appear. Digimon are living beings that evolve by consuming E-Pulse. Tomorrow Tenma is drawn into an extraordinary experience after meeting Gekomon, who suddenly appears from his Sabotama. While living together with Kyo Sawashiro and other members of the bounty hunting team Golden Dawn, Tomorrow renews his resolve. What new future will be forged by humans and Digimon? Okay. I mean, honestly, that might be cool just to watch it from the beginning, because I know it's probably going to go on for well into next year, maybe even further. But I know for Appley Monsters, when that came out, I was a little bit late to the party on that, so I didn't get to watch it week by week, and then I didn't finish Ghost Game at all. Now, it's probably not going to be on Crunchyroll, but who knows, maybe I'll be surprised. Okay, so we got a straight up comedy here. Egao no Tainai Shokuba Desu. New shoujo manga artist Nana Futami works hard every day while being supported by Kaide Sato, her female editor who is older than her, and Mizuki Hazama, her assistant. According to the girl herself, she sometimes drums up intense daydream delusions of occupational illness. That's a way to say it. A working girls comedy set in the entertainment industry, brought to you by an author who always draws various girls. Okay? I mean, it's an adult cast, so that's already a plus. So I will write it down just for the fact that it is a comedy. Now, to be fair, it could be good, but it might not be, because the detectives are always crazy, or whatever it's called. That I didn't really care for. I watched 2 episodes and decided that was more than enough for me. So I'm just hoping that the jokes in this can land better than that. Then we have Shumatsu Touring. All alone after the end of days, 2 girls bike through empty ruins of Japan. And they're not about to let collapse of civilization get in the way of sightseeing. Even when the world ends, their journey goes on. So it's the new version of Girls Band Tour. Not Girls Band Tour. Girls Last Tour. I'm mixing up titles. I mean, it sounds cool. I like the poster. It looks neat. Yeah. Nothing more I can say about it. It already has a source from a manga, so I don't know how much they're going to adapt. I don't know if there's a way that you can adapt everything, because assuming it's more slice of lifey, I don't know how that would work. But I'll just wait on that when it comes out. This might have been what I saw. Alma-chan wa Kazoku no Naritai. Alma, an autonomous self-learning robot with advanced combat capabilities, was created by 2 genius scientists, Enji Kamisato and Suzume Yobane, who developed Alma's artificial intelligence and robotics respectively. After being mocked by their former acquaintances, the duo have worked together in order to show the world their true talents. But even though they cooperate in their work, the 2 scientists cannot seem to get along in their personal lives. However, despite their constant bickering, Enji and Suzume develop a glint of mutual affection, feelings that do not go unnoticed by their adorable robotic creation. Now curious, Alma starts to question the true nature of her creator's relationship. As she learns more about humanity and those around her, Alma's bond with Enji and Suzume only grows stronger. I mean, I already am watching an anime that's basically about a robot girl, but not really. Yeah, I mean... See, the thing is, it could be a really good show, but it could also be like the Ninja Girl from this year where I didn't really care for that. It's a coin flip, and I'll just wait and see what other people say. So that's all of that stuff. Let's take a look at what the ONAs are. Because the ONAs are where Takapi's Original Sin was before. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything from this. And to be honest, just from looking at it, I probably will. Okay, so nothing there. What about the OVA? Golden Kamui? Yeah. Movie. Zombieland Saga. And of course it's right around Zombieland Saga and Girls Band Cry. The unfortunate part is compilation. Okay, that's fine. I was hoping it would actually be like a legitimate movie, but Zombieland Saga definitely is. That's very convenient that it's right around October as well. But I really enjoy Zombieland Saga. It has been so long. I miss it so much. I'm really glad I looked down here for that. And to be honest, outside of that, I don't think I care about anything else. Because the movies aren't as quick to put on Crunchyroll as far as I can remember. Now, I may be able to watch the Zombieland Saga movie just by looking online, but I don't know. I think just from the list that I have a good enough list of stuff to watch and stuff to drop. But that is going to be it for this breakdown. I do want to mention that I didn't look through every single show because there's just way too many. But at the same time, I may be surprised by stuff, and there may be stuff that I watched that I didn't discuss here. But if you enjoyed, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you haven't, let me know what you're looking forward to from this season, and I'll see you next time. Momentai.